Am I the asshole for marrying my sister's ex? Me and my sister have been fighting recently for something that I thought got resolved a long time ago. I've debated posting for like a week now, but figured someone not directly involved would be good to hear from. A couple months ago, I married my husband, Greg, after being together for 4 years. We met each other working at the same office, and I developed this huge crush on him. I was pretty sure he was into me too, so I decided to bring it up to my sister, Alicia. Alicia and Greg had dated in middle school when they were both 13-ish, and because it had been so long and at such a young age, I didn't think there would be an issue, but I still wanted to check. I didn't want to accidentally start dating some long-lost love of her life or something, so I thought I would clear the air by asking. She seemed a bit surprised because I don't think she was expecting to hear about her middle school ex-boyfriend randomly so many years later. But after we talked for a bit, she said she didn't really care. So I thought, cool, I have the go-ahead. I thanked her and moved on with things, and a little while later, me and Greg got together. It's never seemed to be an issue before recently. We hit all the milestones, and she seemed to be happy for us. When he met my family again, they were a bit surprised, but things were fine. My sister was even one of my bridesmaids and seemed happy for me the entire time. Like I haven't really thought of them dating in forever, because it no longer seems relevant. I mean, she has a husband at this point, so it doesn't seem like a middle school boyfriend would be something to dwell on. We were with my family this Christmas, and things were going just as fine as they usually are until my sister started handing out the presents she had gotten. Now we don't get each other presents every year, and people in my family typically aren't buying special presents for people they're not close to, so the in-laws don't get screwed or anything because they didn't buy every individual cousin a gift. But during my wedding planning, she said she wanted to get me something special for my first Christmas as a married woman, so it took me off guard. I looked sort of confused for a second, but I didn't want to be a bitch on Christmas, so I just smiled and watched everyone open their gifts. Lots of circumstances could cause someone to not be able to get a gift, so it was fine. But after she finished handing things out, she looked at me and said I wasn't getting anything because I had taken enough. I asked her what she meant because and she said I didn't have to be so weird to plot to take Greg from her. I'll admit I had a crush on him when I was 11, but I didn't plan my life around dating him one day. I grabbed her and pulled her into the other room and we started yelling at each other. I definitely said some nasty things, because if she had an issue, why wouldn't she bring that up when I directly asked her? We both wound up leaving my parents' house early, and her husband seemed super pissed. My mom texted that she was disappointed we fought in Christmas, which yeah, I get, but it's not like I did it intentionally. She's telling whatever family members will listen about how I stole her boyfriend, and so they're mad at me. And I don't feel like I could be the asshole, but I also can't tell. Greg's super pissed because she's been trying to message him about this, and he doesn't get why this is such an issue. I've tried to speak with a couple times, and I brought up how I asked her already for permission, but she says I took her off guard. So, am I the asshole? Update: things are pretty tense right now in my family, but less people are mad at me now. A lot of you were correct about the marriage issues between my sister and her husband. The other night my mom invited me over to talk about what was happening. First she apologized for telling me she was disappointed. Her and my dad were just upset there was drama on Christmas. I apologized for picking the fight during the gift exchange, because I know I definitely could have waited until later. Her and my sister have been talking a lot the past couple of days. I have yet to talk to her in person. Alicia told my mom that her husband, Chris, had told Alicia that I had been flirting with him and I had seduced him. I would never fucking do that. So this was a pretty big shock to hear. He had never been weird to me, so I had always been cordial, but I am in no way attracted to him. She had told my mom a couple months back that Chris was interested in another woman, but never said who. They had been going to couples counseling to help, and Alicia told my mom it had been helping. We're not sure what caused her to snap at Christmas specifically, since beforehand she told my mom things were getting better. My mom had called her the night after we fought, and that's when my sister told her that I was the person Chris had been talking about. I just don't get why he'd pretend we had been flirting, or why she'd even believe it. I've always been open about Greg, and I can't even think of the last time I've spoken to Chris without someone else present. I guess he wanted to avoid responsibility or something, but he didn't have to make that my issue. But the stealing comment she made towards me was because I guess she saw it as once as a coincidence, 2 as a pattern, and thought I was some evil bitch who wanted every guy she had. When my mom called me over, she didn't think I was doing anything with Chris, but she still asked to make sure, which really hurt to be honest. It's not like I can prove I'm not doing something, but she believes me at least. Since we've talked, she's been doing damage control on all the relatives, who my sister was telling I was stealing her husband. This whole thing would have been easier if she had just talked to me about it. My mom said she would try to talk to Alicia some more to convince her I'm not trying to steal her husband. Greg's pissed. He's pissed at my whole family pretty much, but mostly Alicia and Chris. She texted Greg yesterday, "My name only loves you because you were mine." Sophia, I guess she doesn't believe my mom. He blocked her after that. I don't know. I was hoping the reasoning would have been something else. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if my relationship with her can come back from this, and I refuse to be anywhere near Chris.